You know, back in the day, Stewie lived in a one-bedroom apartment, and he'd have maybe 60 people over to his Shabbos table every Shabbos.
Stewie's Shabbos table was so amazing because it was always a great mix of people, and it was packed and energy and interesting Torahs and always interesting people to meet.
Everybody was crammed against the wall, and when I started coming in, I said, "Oh, can I help?" And little did I know that helping meant I was now going to be catering for the event every week. You know, there was always schnapps and always l'chaims, and people were just like singing, and people were like singing so loud that neighbors, you know, some would complain, but most of them loved it. And in fact, some of our closest friends today are people that found us and we found them through the Shabbos and the singing.
About 14 years ago, we started hearing this amazing singing Friday night. We used to tell each other, wow, these people are having the best time. I mean, how come we're not, you know? We went there for one Shabbat, and in this day, Stewie invited us to his table. As we were going through the evening, the singing started, and we started hearing the songs, and we say, wait a minute, this is the songs we've been hearing all these Friday nights at our house, few houses away, next block, you know? And suddenly we realized, this is the sounds that he's been calling us every Friday night, and now we are part of it.
After I met my Eishes Chayil and we were going to get married, we looked around and we really weren't connected to any shul in the community. And we went to Rabbi Weiss from Beth Jacob, and we asked if we had been talking with Rabbi Weiss about possibly starting a minyan together, and we said this would be a great Shabbos to start.
I got on the phone and called a number of people, and we set up an ufruf there, and got a laner and some daveners, and the ufruf was so amazing. At the end, we had a kiddush, and we all looked at each other, this is great, who's going to be in town next week? Everyone raised their hand, so we decided we'd have Shabbos the next week, and asked Rabbi Weiss if we could have the room again. He said, sure, whenever we wanted.
And I remember there was a couple of handfuls of us, and it came time to give the Devar Torah, and Stewie came up to me and said, would you like to give the Devar Torah? So I am very honored to have given the very first Devar Torah at the Happy Minyan about 14 and a half years ago.
Without Stewie and Enny's marriage, I mean, their wedding was the beginning of the Happy Minyan. Stewie's vision, Stewie's dream, that luckily Enny helped support, was to have a minyan like this in Los Angeles. And I'm sure it exceeded his expectations.
Stewie and Enny are a force of nature in and of themselves. Stewie has so much ahavas Yisrael. His heart is so big and so full of love for the Jewish people, and he has such a commitment to bringing Mashiach in beautiful ways.
I've never known anybody that would care about the Jew, about the Yehudi, as much as Stuart Wax does. He will do anything and everything possible to help that person if he knows that he needs anything, that he can do for him.
I knew they were unique the first time I went to them for Sukkos, and he's pointing to all his different Rebbes. And there's the picture of Reb Meir Kahana, there's a picture of Reb Shlomo, there's a picture of the gravesite of Rebbe Nachman, and then he pulled out a book and he says, here's my other Rebbe. And it was a picture of him with Jerry Garcia. So I said, okay, this is my kind of guy.
Enny's strength of character and Stewie's generosity together create this tone of love. And I think that really spreads throughout the minyan, that the feeling of welcoming and the feeling of just be yourself, just be comfortable to be yourself.
She's really honest and truthful to the point where everybody else is inspired to just be themselves. She doesn't have a pretentious bone in her body, which is just so refreshing, especially here in LA.
Anyone that meets them immediately could see that they're for real, and they bring so much to the community. Stewie brought me out for my first time at the Happy Minyan, and I never wanted to leave after that.
Enny and Stewie are really, really amazing people. They're loving and caring, and they're honest people.
Stuart and Enny are like the spirit of the Happy Minyan. Without them, it wouldn't be the Happy Minyan.
When you go to their house, you know that you're welcome. And they really go out of their way to make you feel like you're part of their family. And us so much so that our daughter practically lives there.
And is part of their family.
As is part of their family, so.
Stu and Enny have done more than almost anyone I know to bring and gather these wonderful souls from all walks of the Jewish community, united in a great hope and dream that God willing, there'll be peace in all of God's world.
We're so touched.
I'm humbled.
Yeah.
Completely, I mean.
The truth is, it's like, this is like I said to Johnny, I said, we'll take this, but it's not for us, it's for everybody. We're just like the poster child, you know? So everybody should really feel like this is really their event and this is really their gala.
Absolutely.
And we just want to thank everybody for
And we want to honor you for making this event and making the Happy Minyan what it is today. Thank you so much for recognizing us, and I would like to just say a word specifically for my husband, recognizing my husband in particular for really being the originator of all of the things we've talked about today. He was the one who started all of these things before it was even an idea in my mind and before I ever met him. And thank you for everything and showing me that what community is and what Yiddishkeit is and what who Shlomo was and the kind of davening that you can do and helping me to continue learning.
And you're welcome.